When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
This episode is brought to you by NBA on Prime. This Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern, it's the Emirates NBA Cup Championship game on Prime. This year's quest for the Cup has been building to this, the championship game, live from Las Vegas. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to get started today. The Emirates NBA Cup Championship game, this Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern, only on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
Yes! Playoff tickets! Just need to click here and... Wait, what? Fake site? Good thing McAfee threw the red flag. That would have been $400 gone.
McAfee blocks risky sites so you don't pay for seats and other things that don't exist. Plans start at just $39.99 for your first year. That's cheaper than parking on game day. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
Welcome back, Tiger fans, to Rockin' Radio's football podcast. I'm Nate Edwards. That's Nathan Hurst. This is Before the Box Score. Just chilling after signing day, chilling in the bowl season. Reading the news and being excited that your coach is not being arrested and fired all in the same day. So it's a good day for Missouri. Nathan Hurst, how are you doing?
Doing all right. You know, as you said, it's nice to not be a part of a coaching carousel. We said this last week. We said that the week before. Hopefully it stays the same next week. We'll say it again.
Yeah.
So, Eli, don't go out and do anything inappropriate from between now and next week, and I think we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah. I mean, the carousel had mostly slowed down. I mean, there's obviously the NFL that looms, and there's a couple of coaches who might be interested in that sort of thing. And I found out yesterday that apparently in college contracts, they have not typically put in verbiage for all that stuff when it comes to the NFL. So like, you know, duty to mitigate, or, you know, the timeline of paying people money. Like, it's, you know, NFL doesn't apply to a lot of that stuff. So it's like, okay, so we could literally do this all over again. And then Sherrone Moore is fired for something naughty and then arrested by the police. So that's a big name job. They're going to want a big name to probably replace it. And, yeah, everybody kind of has their musical chairs filled out and their buyouts established and their extensions signed, but the Michigan money cannon can make a lot of things go away. So I guess from the top, Hurst, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you that Michigan's going to come a knocking for a Mr. Eli Drinkwitz?
Not crazy concerned. Is it possible? For sure. Definitely possible, but he's not going to be their first choice. So he would be, I think it would be a lot like we saw with LSU, with Florida, with Penn State, where maybe he's the second, third, fourth guy they talk to. And, you know, if you just sign a nice brand new extension where you are, do you want to be the fourth choice somewhere else? You know, maybe the money will be probably just as good there with more perhaps institutional support. So there's certainly a lot of pros to going to a Michigan, but, you know, I'm not any more worried about it than I was about, you know, the previous iteration. And I to be honest, wasn't all that worried about it then. So, yeah. You know, short of Kiffin leaving LSU immediately and going to Michigan, or, you know, DeBoer going to Michigan and then Kiffin going to Alabama and LSU opening back up, that might be the only thing I could think of as being the chance, since they've already touched base with Drinkwitz, that would happen. But I think that's pretty unlikely as well.
That would be nuts. That'd be absolutely nuts. You know what? We don't even have to entertain it. We are 2 hours away from this news hitting. We don't have to worry about it. But I mean, there's always the specter. And who knows what crazy shenanigans happen. Maybe they'll hire John Harbaugh from the Ravens. Maybe they'll do that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that would be fun. Did he even go to Michigan? I know Jim did, but
I don't think he did. I also don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But
I could see them going and bringing Jesse Minter back from the Chargers.
Yeah.
He's doing really well there under Jim, and he was
Mm-hmm.
the DC there when they won the national championship. So
yeah.
Would not be surprised if they went that route as at least one option.
To tie it to Mizzou, Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator for the Vanderbilt team, led by Derek Mason, who beat Missouri in 2019. So there's your tie.
I didn't want to remember that. So thank you.
Yeah. We always like to dig that one up because that always feels great. Yeah. We're talking carousel. Let's talk about the Drinkwitz extension. We got the numbers that came out. It's healthy. It's an investment. I don't know how you personally feel about it, Nathan Hurst. I know we talked a little bit the last show about monetary investment and program investment and things of that nature, but just looking at how much is being invested into this guy and this program, how did you feel about the offer that he signed? How does that make you feel about Missouri's future with Eli Drinkwitz?
I mean, to be honest, it makes me feel just the same as it did before they signed it, in that it's not going to prevent him from leaving if he really wants to.
Mm-hmm.
But it, at the same time, it shows that Mizzou is serious, is serious about what they're trying to do with football. And, that's the only way they're going to keep a guy like Drinkwitz, is to show that they're serious. So it helps that, we're serious. The best thing about it, I think, is increasing the assistant pool by 33% or whatever. That's important because that means you're serious, and not only for the current staff, but when there is staff turnover, which there always will be, and there may very well be this year, you're going to want to show potential candidates for, those coordinator jobs, position coach jobs, that this is a serious program. So you're going to be able to attract that, talented coaches below Drinkwitz a lot easier in that way as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, this extends him to 2031, if I remember correctly. Next year, he'll start making 10 and a quarter million. And then that just goes up incrementally up until 2031, where he's making 11 and a quarter per year. By the way, that's a pretty good money if you can get it. I believe his buyout went up to $5 million. That's if he leaves. So buyout's actually relatively low. And that goes down, of course, over time. So $5 million for December 1st of next year, $4 million the year after that, $3 million the year after that, until you get to $0 million on 2031. Now, before you get there, these things are going to get renegotiated anyway, so that's less concerning. Taking the staff pool from 12 to 16 million, I think, was probably the thing that spoke loudest to me as far as investment. Because yes, you need the head guy, but you also need guys around him to execute. And especially someone like Eli Drinkwitz, who is a CEO kind of pitchman guy, you need really talented coordinators. So having that expanded budget for assistant staff is really nice, especially if you want to go out and get a new, special teams coordinator, something like that. The one thing that people seem to latch on to, and I'm not understanding it, is the trigger, the automatic lever of an extension if he wins 8 games. That seems like a really good idea. And people looked at it, and again, you can't trust the internet as like a bastion of rational takes, but it seemed that people took that as, why are we settling to extend someone who is going 8-4 every year and being mediocre? And I'll let you go first. I just didn't see it that way. What did you think about the automatic extension clause?
First and foremost, at Mizzou, 8-4 is not mediocre. 8-4 is acceptable, and that's setting that as the floor for continuing as a coach, I think, is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. This it's similar but different from the oft talked about contract that Mark Stoops had at Kentucky. The difference is he got an extension every year that they made a bowl game, and you make a bowl game going 6-6.
Yeah.
And Kentucky figured that was their acceptable floor, 6-6, showing that the acceptable floor is 2 wins higher than that. I think is appropriate. Once again, this is Mizzou. 8-4 is a okay year. Do we want better than that? Do we hope for better than that? Do we strive for better than that? Can they be better than that? Yes. All those things are true. Yes. But 8-4 is still a acceptable, not good, not great, not necessarily even successful, depending on the year and the context, year to year, but acceptable number. So I think that, if you're establishing that floor as the acceptable floor for a season, I think that's perfectly reasonable. And it gives that added stability to Drinkwitz to say, hey, we are committed to you. And if you deliver an acceptable product year in and year out, we're going to stay committed to you. And I think that makes perfect sense.
Also keep in mind, Missouri's playing 9 SEC games starting next year. Not 8 anymore. You don't get 4 non-conference games. Now, I don't want to say that, his schedule's weak or anything like that, but Hurst, do you remember the last time Missouri lost a non-conference game?
It was not under Drinkwitz, was it?
It was.
I don't know. Well, other than a bowl game. When was the last time I lost a non-bowl
Don't worry
game?
about the bowl games. The scheduled non-conference loss, the last one.
Kansas State, 2022.
There it is. Yeah. He's got it. On the road.
Yeah.
Do you remember because there's only been 2, the only one other than that?
It would have had to be 2021.
Mm-hmm. Overtime
game 2. I'm not remembering this. My
not
brain
UMass,
is mush.
but
Boston College on the road.
There it is. Yeah. Those were the only 2 non-conference games he lost. So Missouri schedules these things and they win them. That's 4 wins right there. Basically like clockwork. If it's not 4, it was 3. And now you only have 3 of those. Okay, so you're probably keeping your FCS. You got Illinois and Kansas on the books for the next 2 years, I want to say. So those are tough because they're peer programs and actual conferences. So yeah, playing 9 games. I mean, again, next year, guys, Missouri plays Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M every year. 2 of those are in the playoff this year. I'm not saying it's going to be every year, but 2 of them are. Outside of that, every year, next year, they play Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Texas. You get to 8 off of that, and what is it? Kansas, UTPB, and Troy, I think is what the non-con is for next year. There's your 3, and then you got to find 5 between Arkansas, Oklahoma, A&M, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Texas. I don't care how good Mizzou is going to be next year, which they could be very good. That is tough. Yeah. So 8 wins and an extension, I think, is a fair bar to set and clear. And I think he's going to do it.
And that's not including a bowl game. So that's not going 7-5 and then winning an 8th game in the bowl game. It's 8 regular season games. And that means having a winning record in the SEC every year to get to that 8-4 mark, going 5-4 at least in the SEC. This year they went 4-4, and they had a relatively easy SEC schedule as those things go. They've got 3 playoff teams and then one almost playoff team in Texas on the schedule next year. So, and then Florida's going to certainly be better than they have been. Mississippi State don't really know yet. Kentucky don't really know yet.
Georgia's going to be good.
But Georgia. I make that 4. Excuse me, 4 playoff teams, not 3. 4 playoff teams plus Texas. So
I mean, you said last show they're going to play like 3 top 10, 4 top 10 teams every year.
Yeah,
there it is.
Every year, and in 2 years, those games are on the road.
Yep.
So
Yep. Sucks. So yeah, I think 8-4 is fine. I think that's totally fine. And it's gonna be tough. He's not gonna get it every year. Let me just put it that way. Now he will exceed it at some point. He'll probably fall short of it in one of these years, but I think that's a fair test. So I'm good with that.
Oh, Hilton stay. Your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
In Walmart's Newville, time was ticking away. Only a few nights left till the big holiday. But last-minute gifters had no need to worry. Walmart Express Delivery got their gifts in a hurry. From Nintendo to Nespresso and Lego Flowers, they could check off their lists in as fast as an hour. All of Newville, East, West, South, and North, could order gifts up until 5 p.m. on December 24th. So this holiday, just do as the Who's do. With gift delivery this fast, they all gasped. From Walmart, who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
Online reviews say I'm steep, rocky, and a difficult trail. Next time, I'm gonna say, not if you're driving a Toyota truck.
We know what we're made of. Toyota trucks.
Now, there's other things in the contract, too, like performance, based levers that get yanked whenever he clears that. And that's all whatever. It's just millionaires making more millions. So I'm not going to get into details of that. But I do feel like he's appropriately, more than appropriately compensated for the work. I think that the extension clauses are fair. I think the expectation is whatever you want it to be, because I do think he is getting the tools that he wants and needs to succeed. And I'm feeling really good about that. So now he's got what he wants, right? We fixed the building. We got the players. There's going to be a healthy investment. I know there's a clause in the contract that talks about basically the university doing everything they can to provide the funds to acquire talent, acquire student athletes that are going to be able to succeed. So they are nebulously contributing to that. I don't know what else more he can ask for. So now I think it's time that he delivers. And that's not saying that he hasn't, but I think he's got what he needs. So let's go do it.
Well, other than the Fortune 500 companies jumping on board, I guess that would be the one other thing.
Which you can't put into a contract.
No.
So yeah, it's good. I don't remember where that puts him as far as compensation, like total compensation. But he was
in the top 10.
He was top 10 before. I'm pretty sure he's top 10 again. So
at least until Michigan hires another coach, because he was making more than Sharon Moore was making. But who knows what the new guy will make?
We'll see. Yeah. And then we talk about the good things with Eli Drinkwitz getting extended, and we can talk about the bad things too. Because guess what happened? Portal's going to portal. Missouri and freshman running backs. Not a good mix, not a healthy relationship the past 2 years. And Marquise Davis is now continuing the annual tradition of being a promising 4-star running back that's going to go play somewhere else next year. We don't know where, but we know he's going to enter the portal. How are you feeling, Mr. Hurst?
I mean, it's a bummer. He's clearly talented. He showed flashes a lot like Kewan Lacey the year before. Probably actually a little less so. And just because his services were not needed quite as much as Lacey's were. But as I said, he had talent and would have definitely seen the field for Mizzou, if not next year, in 2 years. But I think it's just another example of this coaching staff devoting resources to players who have produced on the field already. Mm-hmm. And so, we were not in the room when Marquise Davis went to talk to the coaching staff, but if I had to guess, the conversation probably went something along the lines of, "Hey, coach, I'd love a little bump in my NIL pay, or even the same amount of NIL pay that got me to commit here for next year." And the conversation went, "Well, you didn't really get on the field much, and we've got hopefully both of the two guys ahead of you coming back, and they're going to be wanting and earning more money as well. So we're probably not going to give you exactly what you want. And so, Davis has the ability, and more power to him, to, search for compensation that he finds more fair elsewhere. And that's what he's choosing to do. And that's kind of just how college football is these days. So, best of luck to him. Wish he would have found success here. I'm sure he'll probably find success wherever he ends up. Hopefully it's not for a team that Mizzou plays in the next few years.
Yeah. It's really tough to care too much about this for all the reasons you just listed. Right? This is not what the staff does. And so any freshman who wants to renegotiate, boy, we'll pack your bags for you.
Certainly not what they do when there's an All-American and another running back who would start for 12 of the 16 SEC teams ahead of him.
Yeah.
And for all we know, coming back next year, I mean, we don't know for sure. We won't know for sure till the transfer portal closes, but
you're feeling pretty good about it, though.
Feeling pretty good about that. Certainly Hardy, but hopefully Roberts as well will be back. So, we're not going to, the staff thinking we're not going to give this guy either a ton of money, the same money we got him to come, or a raise to give us 20 carries again. Even if they were good carries, 20 carries is just, you can get that from a lot of different guys.
You can. It's just one of the, as long as you have Curtis Looper on staff and the offense that Missouri runs, I'm not concerned about running back. I mean, this is the second unranked kid that has gone for over 1,000 yards in a single season for Eli Drinkwitz. They find the talent. Yeah. And they find you in high school, or they find you out of the portal, and they plug you in, and you do great. And you do better in year 2, because I'm looking at Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll. But, you're really, really good, and you're going to get the carries to do it. So, good luck, man. I hope you do well. And you are going to do well, because everyone talked about what a freak he was, but not going to do it here. And that's okay. So we can stop talking about that. But, yeah. We're going to talk about some SEC teams, because that list came out. That list has kind of been coming out as we go on. The coaches did theirs yesterday. The AP did theirs today. And, weird. An 8-4 team has 6 first-team All-Americans on it.
All SEC.
All SEC team, right? And the running backs for the All-SEC team were both Missouri Tigers last year, because Kwan Lacey is the second guy to Ahmad Hardy as far as All-American, All-SEC from the AP. So if you're going through the list here, it goes Ahmad Hardy, his first team All-SEC running back, and then Caden Green, Keegan Trost, Chris McClellan, and then Josiah Trotter. Pretty good. Pretty good overall. First team SEC. So I guess, when Eli Drinkwitz said this is our most talented team ever, they went 8-4, but I guess he wasn't lying. Yeah. Does this all seem right to you?
For sure. I mean, I think the upcoming, if not this year's, next year's NFL draft will play that, will show that as well. I mean, you've got Zion Young and Damon Wilson, who are almost definitely going to be drafted highly this year. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully next year, a guy like Josiah Trotter, which he would probably be drafted this year if he does choose to go. It may not be as high as he would hope or his ceiling could be, but I think he would get drafted as well. Caden Green, another story. He'd definitely get drafted if he went out now. Now, is it as high as he hopes it could be? Maybe not, but maybe next year it'd be higher. We'll see what his decision is. And then certainly Ahmad Hardy is not eligible to go this year, thankfully, because he certainly would if he could. Yeah. And he would go highly if he did.
Yeah. When you look at these lists, you're like, all right, so is this, respecting a program? Is this actually the best that you think? Because, a lot of times you look at these lists and, there's Alabama right down the board, or LSU, or, look at Georgia defensive linemen. There's 3 of them on there. And you're like, okay, yeah, they're really good. Are they really the best? There's not a whole lot of variance. There's a lot of, unique teams on there. But sometimes it's just a time capsule or just like a general respect thing. You know, sometimes programs get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to their players, or maybe, you know, a team does really well, and a couple years down the line, you know, after being kind of at an elevated position, people start looking at their linemen differently, or they're looking at their running backs differently, or whatever. But, you know, I went back because I was like, you know, the 2023 team that won so many games, beat Ohio State, you know, if the playoff was expanded, it would have been right there. I was like, I don't feel like they had 5 guys on the AP All SEC team. Oh, no, they did. They did. It's Cody Schrader, Luther Burnham, Javon Foster, Darius Robinson, and Chris Abrams-Train. So there's 5. And then last year they didn't have anybody, which, you know, okay, you won 10 games, but you didn't look great doing it. And then this year you win 8 games and you have another 5. So I don't know, is Missouri a respected SEC program now? These are rhetorical questions that you can't answer, but I'm impressed that they are recognized at this level from SEC writers that follow this sport and follow the games. Like, kind of feels like you made it, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's both. Missouri has gained respect for the success in the last 3 years, for sure, and also a sign of, you know, what we've seen in other ways too, manifesting that the talent across the board is much more spread out than it was even 5 years ago. 5 years ago, first team would have been Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Alabama, LSU. They'll throw in a, you know, rando from Kentucky or something, and then Georgia, Florida, LSU. You know, that would have been the first team. And now, I mean, Mizzou's got 5 guys, and that's that's more than anybody else, which is kind of crazy on the first team. But everyone else has got 3 or 4. You know, so not every school has one, but probably 12 have at least one on the first team, if not more. So it's just way more spread out. Every team in the SEC has really good players on it. You know, other than maybe Kentucky, but
you me
and Mississippi State. So other than those are the 2 teams I don't see anybody on. But everybody else has 2, 3, 4 guys on the first and second teams. Arkansas, sorry guys, I don't think. No, Fernando Carmona did make the team. Good job, Arkansas. He made second.
He is good.
So,
he is good.
But yeah, it's just the talent is way more spread out across the board. So I think as long as Mizzou keeps winning and keeps bringing in talent, we're going to keep seeing, you know, maybe not 5, but 3, 4 guys a year on that team.
Well, let's do the first team All SEC by team. Quarterback, Vanderbilt. Running back, Missouri Ole Miss. Wide receiver, Tennessee, Texas A&M. Tight end, Vanderbilt. Oh, yeah, Eli Stowers. Offensive lineman, Alabama, A&M, Missouri, Texas, Florida. For all-purpose, Texas A&M, KC, Concepcion. Then on defense, you have A&M, Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Georgia, Auburn, Missouri, LSU, Alabama, Texas, LSU. Like, you do get a lot of repeats from, like, your blue bloods, but, like, LSU is 7-5, and they have 1, 2, 3? No, 2. So, like, feels like LSU would have taken that spot in most years. But now it's either because Missouri has risen or, like, the talent has risen or whatever. Like, yeah. It's the other Tigers that are taking all those spots, which is really nice. So, yeah. Now we just got to turn it into 10 wins and maybe a challenge for the SEC, you know? Something like that. Who got lawn snapper? Bo Gardner from Georgia. Okay. We're still doing that thing. What's the difference between a first team All SEC lawn snapper and a second team All SEC lawn snapper?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess to play for, that's the one position you get credit for playing for Georgia for, as long as you don't screw up somewhere along the line.
Yeah. It's just, who won the conference? Their lawn snapper.
Yeah, there you go.
He was key.
They won the conference and he didn't snap it over anybody's head all season. So
there you go.
Here's the winner.
Simple. Yeah. And then, you know, we haven't talked about it, but Missouri is in a bowl game. Let's not forget that. They are playing in the Gator Bowl. That is on December 27th in Jacksonville, Florida. Duval going up against the best ACC team. Well, that didn't get to make it into the playoff.
Well, yeah, there you go. Let's put that asterisk on the end of them. But yes.
Look, man, Virginia lost the fewest games in the ACC. You cannot deny that. So I'm going to say, just nominally, they're the number 1 ACC team. How do you feel about this? I haven't played Virginia in quite some time. How do you feel?
I think it's fun. I mean, it's probably about as fun of an opponent and a bowl game and a setting that I could have hoped for, to be honest. Gator Bowl's always been kind of one of those better bowls that Mizzou's kind of been close to going to, but never quite gone to. Mm-hmm. If you think back, BCS days and even pre-BCS Bowl Alliance days, Gator Bowl was always one of the best of the second tier of bowls. So you got your Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, kind of as your top tier bowls. Gator Bowl's always been right at that kind of top of that second tier. Peach Bowl kind of has somehow hopped them due to, I guess, internal politics. But it was right around with the Peach Bowl 20 years ago, 10 years ago. So great history in the bowl. Mizzou's been there and had success there before. Mm-hmm. And then, as you said, Virginia, they nominally were the best team in the ACC. They kind of choked in the SEC championship game, or they'd be in the playoff themselves. So this really is a team that probably should be in the playoff if everything's played out, how they should have, which never happens in college football. But it's a good team. It's a fun team. They're a fun story. So that really kind of checks all the boxes. Fun bowl game, the actual bowl in the name, location. I mean, Jacksonville, whatever. It's Florida, so that's better than other places in December. Against a good team, and it's a team that they haven't played in 50 years. Mm-hmm. Only played once in history. So it's just somebody new. You're not playing Oklahoma State for the third time in a bowl game in 10 years or whatever. So it's fun. It's fun. It should be good.
It's tax layer. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So I'm looking at the records, the game records, because this thing has been around since 1946. They used to play in Gator Bowl Stadium? Did you know that was a thing?
In Jacksonville?
Where was it? It was...
That's where the bowl's always been.
No, Gator Bowl Stadium from 1946 until 1993. It was built in 1927. I guess it wasn't Jacksonville. There you go. Yeah, no longer there. Most points scored by one team is 52. 52 points. That is shared by Mississippi State, A&M, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss last year scored 52 against Duke. So most points scored by the losing team was 38 by South Carolina against Notre Dame. Most points scored by both teams was 83. That was also Notre Dame versus South Carolina. Fewest points allowed, 0. Okay, so Clemson did that in 1996. Largest margin of victory was 41. Syracuse did that against Clemson in 1996 because they won 41-0. So that's fun. Total rushing yards, 423. So that's the one we want to keep in mind. Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts needed combined for 423 rushing yards. Auburn did that against Baylor in 1954. So that's one that's been standing for quite some time. The most passing yards. Oh, this is perfect. It was against Virginia. 407 passing yards by Texas Tech in 2008. So that was the Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree, Texas Tech offense there. Fewest rushing yards allowed. You know that one, baby. Missouri versus Alabama, 1968.
Negative 40-something.
I think it's 45.
45. No matter how good Mizzou's defense plays against the run, I'm not sure they're going to be able to beat that one.
And then fewest passing yards allowed, 0. Alabama against Missouri in 1968. So
Missouri probably didn't throw any passes in that game.
They didn't have to. They did not have to. So there's a lot of good records here. I'm just on the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl website, which these are always fun to look at. But yeah, it could be fun. Let's see if there's any good merchandise that we can buy here. A lot of good shirts. Gator Bowl, Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Got some hats. Pretty cool hoodie. Standard corporate stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Nothing unique, but it should be fun. I've never been in Jacksonville. Not going to start. Not going to go to this game. But yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, Virginia's. I think it's a good matchup for Mizzou too. They're a good team, but not in the ways that gives Mizzou trouble. At least this year so far. We can dig more into the matchup closer to the actual game, but Virginia likes to run the ball, and Jamari Taylor is a very talented running back, but not super worried about that. As you know, now we haven't heard who's opting in or opting out yet, and that will play a big on both sides. So that will play a big role. Though Drinkwitz did sound fairly confident that most of his guys are going to play.
He said it in front of everybody. Yeah.
So I mean that you say that though, you know, a Damon Wilson, a Zion Young, who are getting projected in the first round, would not blame those guys at all if they chose to sit on the sidelines. But you know, otherwise,
maybe encourage it. I don't know. You know, but
otherwise, I feel pretty good about certainly the defensive matchup against Virginia, and I think Mizzou could probably run the ball against them too. So
yeah, and like you said, we'll dive into the matchup. I'll just say, and then we'll get out of here. But like, Virginia's been getting away with it all year. They
play in the ACC. They're saying that calling them the best team in the ACC is not really saying that much.
I know, but they have they have 3 wins where their post-game win expectancy was under 45%, including one. They beat Louisville with a 10% post-game win expectancy, won by 3.
It took 4 games to overtime. They finally lost one at Duke in the ACC championship game, but they won a double overtime game and then 2 other overtime games against a really bad North Carolina team. And had to pull it out at the very end in overtime against that one. So bowl games are wonky. You never know how it's going to go, but it can be fun. Could be fun. So, we'll get the coverage going with that. Obviously, we got 2 weeks to go. Today is the 10th, so the 27th is only 17 days away. But we'll get all the coverage that you need for that. And of course, we got another show between then and now, at least. So we'll get you all the coverage that you need about the bowl game. And the last time that you get to see the 2025 Missouri Tigers take the field. But, hey, at least for tonight, that is our show for today. We appreciate the downloads and the subscriptions. You can leave a comment or you can rate us. We love all types of feedback from you all. You can follow us on Twitter at Matt and H.E. Edwards. He's at Burst to Hearst. And, of course, you can follow the Rock'em flagship at Rock'em Nation and our podcasting outlet at Rock'em Radio. We appreciate you tuning in this time. We'll try to do better next time. And until then, M-I-Z. Z-O-U.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Rock M Radio, a proud partner of Fans First Sports Network. Rock M Radio is the official podcast network of Rock M Plus, a new and exciting subscription service provided by me and the other voices of Rock M Radio. Please take a few moments to head over to rockm.plus and sign up for an account today. The cost is only $5 a month, and benefits include access to our live podcast, a subscriber-only message board, weekly newsletters, and more. If you enjoyed this episode of Rock M Radio and would like to see more just like it beamed directly into your personal device, make sure to click the subscribe button below and tell your friends. Our podcast feed is available through the Apple Podcast app for iPhone, Google Podcast app for Android, whatever app you listen to your podcast. You can also find Rock M Radio on Spotify. If you're looking for a podcast about your favorite team that is not the Missouri Tigers, Fan First Sports Network is your answer. A full podcast network loaded with the team-specific podcasts covering Major League Baseball, the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLS, and more. And we'll be back with more episodes of Rock M Radio coming to you soon.